A very good morning, children. How are you? I hope all of you are fine. And today, once again, I'm coming to you with this new video. Since last 2 and 3 months, we were learning. We have started already our learning, and last 2 live stream classes, I have revised you the Flamingo and Vistas portions, which I have taken you in the month of April and May. And now in July, this is the very first video. So we are taking this book, Flamingo, once again, and chapter number 3, Deep Water, by William Douglas. This is class 12 English, and I'm your own teacher, Anulari Daniel. Okay, my dear children. So, all of you, I hope you have now assessed with this book. You have got the books. So it's my request that when we start, just hurriedly bring your book, your pen and your notebook. This is very, very important because till now, as the books were not available with you, or rather I was not sure because the lockdown period was there. So whether you people are having books, so we didn't went towards the direct reading portion in the literature, which is very, very important. Rather, I tried to put all the things in a lecture method. But today from onwards, as is in July, and we are in a new video, and I hope that it's now a lockdown already started off. So you have got the book. So that's why we will be now approaching with another method of learning and teaching that is very important in English, that is reading also. Okay, so kindly take your book along with you, and before reading, I would just like to focus that our today's writer or author is William Douglas, and this particular chapter focuses on fear and its trap. Okay, before moving ahead, let's look on the author. What the author says: William O. Douglas is a famous, or rather was actually famous judge, we can call, in USA, and advisor to the President Roosevelt. Okay, my dear children. He was born in 1838 till 1980. His life was there. And he was born in Manchester. It's written in your book. And after graduating in arts and economics, he started his career as a teacher. He started teaching in high school of Yakima. Yakima is a particular river over there. And a place over there in USA, and then the river is also there. Okay, so we can call that this William Douglas is a very learned personality, and this particular chapter is taken from his excerpt of Men and Mountain, where he mentions about his fear of water, and how and what all things he did to overcome his fear of water. So this particular chapter is an autobiographical account of our author William O. Douglas, who was once upon a time was the Supreme Judge or Justice of the Supreme Court of USA. He rendered his services for almost 36 years, a huge tenure of his service. Okay, my dear, but see, what a great successful man, but once in his life, he had struggled with fear, and that is the fear of water. He almost got drowned in the YMCA pool, and that's why he actually developed a fear, not only that instant or misadventure of drowning, but before also in a very early age also he developed the fear. Okay, so this particular chapter focuses on fear and its trap, means how he was having fear and how he overcome his fears, how he has his courage, his hard work, his willpower, his perseverance and his determination actually made him to overcome his fear. So I hope that you people are, all of you are having your books with you. Come on, take your pencils and pen with you, and just in the middle, wherever, because this chapter particularly has a lot of vocabularies and a lot of hard words which need to be noted down along with its meaning. So now, after this period of lockdown, when we are in unlockdown, you are all having the books, so kindly take your books and we will start the reading process. It happened when I was 10 or 11 years old. I had decided to learn to swim. There was a pool at YMCA in Yakima that had offered exactly the opportunity. The Yakima River was treacherous. So before moving ahead with the explanation, just we will move with, first of all, the word meaning, which what all words in these 3 or 4 lines we actually dealt was difficult. Number one word you came across is YMCA. YMCA full form is Young Men's Christian Association. You can note down Young Men's Christian Association. Okay, another word you came across is Yakima. Yakima is a place in USA. Okay, near Washington. It is a place in USA. And then there was a pool at YMCA in Yakima that offered exactly the opportunity. The Yakima River was treacherous. Okay, the meaning of treacherous is dangerous. Okay, the meaning of treacherous is dangerous. So, at what age this boy, William Douglas, around 10 to 11 years, at the age of 10 or 11 years, our William Douglas decided that he will learn what? Swimming. Why he will learn swimming? Because he was not knowing to swim, and for that he selected YMCA pool. And why he selected YMCA pool? Because it was much safer place to learn swimming over there, because the river which was actually nearby was very dangerous. And that's why at the age of 10 to 11 years, our William decided to learn swimming in YMCA pool, because Yakima River was very dangerous, and mother continually warned against it and kept fresh in mind the details of each drowning in the river. So his mother was very much worried. Why she was worried? She was worried because Yakima River was very dangerous and many people have got drowned in that river. That's why she kept reminding William, don't you never try to go to the river and start copying your friends like that. So she actually does not want that he should go over there. And this also shows that our William is having the phobia of water from his very early childhood. But the YMCA pool was safe. It was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end, and while it was 9 feet deep at the drop. Here the drop is actually gradual. I got a pair of water wings and went to the pool. See, I will explain you first of all. The selection criteria was because of the swimming pool. Okay, the swimming pool of YMCA, at the one end it was just 2 to 3 feet deep. Means this is called as, you can call it as shallow end, which is not deep. Opposite of deep is shallow. And the other was just, you can call it 9 feet. This is the deeper end, rather at this point. This is the shallow end and this. So the pool was appearing like this, but see, the drop here is gradual. It was not steep drop, it was gradual drop. So we can call it as this was a safer, not so deep swimming pool. That's why he selected this swimming pool. I got a pair of water wings and went to the pool. I hated to walk naked into it and show my skinny legs, but I subdued my pride and did it. See, there are lots of word meaning. I'll just explain you that he actually I have one printout for you. This is actually called as water wings. I hope you are able to see it. The girl, this printout shows how the girl is wearing the two you can call the rubber tube-like structure, which are actually inflated. Okay, so this is called as a water wings. So he actually had his water wings, and which is actually meant for the learners or beginners who are actually trying to learn swimming, or meant for children also, okay, when they start learning. And then what he did, he actually does not want to wear that swimming costume, because he was very thin. Skinny means very thin. He was very thin, so just he hated to wear the swimming costume. But somehow he subdued, means he overcome, he controlled all his emotions. And what's one word it's written over there? It is written that William, I subdued my pride also. He controlled his pride. Here is not we can call proudness. It's pride here is representing self-respect, and did it. Even he was just not want to be so much exposing, but he actually did it. So kindly write the word meaning also along with it. So the first word which I told you was, number one here is water wings. Write down the meaning of water wings. It is a pair of inflatable waterproof bags designed so that they can be attached to each arm. So this is the meaning of water wings. Kindly note it down. Okay, water wing. Okay, my dear children, a pair of inflatable waterproof bag designed so that they can be attached to each arm. This is just like a rubber tube, we can call it. Okay, my dear children. And another was skinny legs. You can write it as a very thin legs. And other was subdued. Subdued meaning is, I hope you have written this. Subdued is controlled or overcome. Okay, and pride is here, especially pride is self-respect. Okay, so our William as a child does not want to be so much exposing in terms of wearing the swimming costume, but somehow he controlled his emotions and went to learn swimming. From the beginning, however, I had an aversion. Aversion means dislike. Okay, you can note it down. Aversion means a strong dislike, or rather dislike. With the water when I was in it, that started when I was just 3 or 4 years old. This is a very important part, because question comes from here. Okay, 3 or 4 years old. This started when I was 3 or 4 years old, and my father took me to the beach in California. He and I stood there in surf. I hung to him. Yeah, the waves knocked me and swept me down. Swept over me. I was buried in water. My breath was gone. I was frightened. Father laughed, but there was a terror in my heart, an overpowering force of the waves. So this particular fear actually rose, or have a feeling not at the age of 10 or 11 years, but William was having this fear since the age of 3 to 4 years. When he was 3 to 4 years, then what happened? He went along with his father to a beach in California. And what happened there? This fear of water developed at the age of 3 to 4 years. So what happened over there? There what happened that as a child he was actually along with his father in the beach of California, and one surf here meaning is wave of water. So the big it was not a big, but for a child it might be a big. So one wave of water came and he got just buried inside that, and how the feeling of choking or rather suffocation he felt, that actually that particular moment he started developing the phobia of water. He is remembering this particular scenario which actually he faced when he was 3 to 4 years old, and his father was there to help him out. His father was trying to make him comfortable by laughing at him, but that sensation of fear developed at the age of 3 to 4 years. Now I hope this particular passage is very much clear to it. We are progressing at page number 25. Now what happened? My interaction to the YMCA pool revived unpleasant memories and stirred. Stirred here means evoke. Okay, you can write it in your copy. Stirred here means evoke fears, but in a little while I gathered confidence. I paddled with my new water wings, watching the other boys and trying to learn by aping them. I did this 2 or 3 times on different days and just beginning to feel at ease in the water when the misadventure happened. Now what happened? As soon as he arrived in the YMCA pool, what happened? His memory actually resurfaced in his mind. Oh, when I was 3 to 4 years, he's just a boy also still now. That time, beach of California, 3 to 4 years. Now, just 10 to 11 years old. So that resurfaced, that again started reviving in his mind, that how he has that particular scenario when he just got buried inside the wave. But somehow he managed to get confidence. He started looking around other boys around the YMCA's pool. He started copying them, how they used to move their hands, their legs, and he tried to actually within 1 to 3 days he was now adjustable with water, or rather we can say he came to a little bit ease level with a phobia of water. And when he was a little bit comfortable with the water, this misadventure happened. What? Now we are going to read about it. There are 2 words here. Rather, one I already told you. Another word which you should note down in your copy, or rather in your book itself, is one word is stirred. I told you its meaning is, you can write down, it's evoking. Okay, and another word is in this passage is aping. It means copy, to copy. He started imitating. Okay, my dear children. So I hope till here you're all well. So as soon he started imitating, he was a little bit in a comfortable level. What happened? This misadventure happened. What? I went to the pool when no one else was there. The place was quiet. The water was still, and tiled bottom was as white as clean and butter. I was timid about going alone, so I sat on the edge of pool to wait for others. So actually he was very shy. Timid means very shy, but William as a boy was very shy, So he went when there was nobody, but he did not have enough courage, or rather confidence, to go inside the swimming pool. So he just started sitting, waiting. He just started sitting at the edge of the swimming pool, waiting for others when they will come. And the water was so calm, it was so clean that he was able to see through the water, the bottom tiles, and that how the tiling was there, and it was very clean water. And I just show you, it was just appearing like a clean bathtub. See, This is a swimming pool. There is a one word, and this is called as bathtub. Okay, my dear children, this is called as bathtub. So what was the swimming pool appears to him like that. Okay, so he was just waiting for others. And what happened? I had not been there long when it came a big bruiser of a boy, probably 18 years old. He had a thick hair on chest. He was a beautiful physical specimen with legs and arms that showed rippling muscles. He yelled, "Hey, Skinny, how would you like to be ducked?" Oh my God. A 18-year-old boy came, and how? What has been the name word has been mentioned? You can write bruiser. A person who is very tough or properly physically built, who is always in aggressive mood, we can call, okay, to have a fight or to have a war, okay. So you can note down this word meaning. A person who is tough and aggressive and enjoys fights and war. And another word is conduct. Duct is to push with a force. To push with a force. Okay. So here, two words are there. You can note the meanings of these two words. I hope you got it. Bruiser, as an 18-year-old boy, came and he just was trying to bully this 10 or 11 years old William, and he says, "You Skinny." He's just lying to, accusing him. How would you like to be ducked? How would you like to be thrown into the water? And see, that boy was having rippling muscles. Rippling means that when you throw a stone in the water, ripples come. So it's sort of wavy form of muscles. He was having very good specimen of. The boy was a very good example of good physical build-up. With that, oh my God! Within a moment, what happened? With that, he picked me up and tossed me into the other deep end. Oh my God! Not towards the shallow end, towards the deep end. He was tossed means he was just threw away in the swimming pool by this 18-year-old boy and towards the deep end. See, this poor little fellow does not know how to swim also. I landed in sitting position. He was sitting at the edge of the pool. He landed like there in the water also. And see what's running. Swallowed a lot of water and went at once to bottom. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. On the way down, I planned when my feet at the bottom, I would make a big jump, come to the surface like flat on it, and paddle to the edge of the pool. But our William Douglas does not know how to swim, so he was sinking down, just in the sitting portion, and he does not know how to swim. So he was swallowing lots of water. His mouth was open. But here the word wits became. Wits means intelligence. So he was planning. There was a strategic planning in his mind. He didn't actually went unconscious while sinking down into the deep end. What happened? He had a plan. What plan? He planned that as soon as I will reach the bottom, I will hit the bottom surface and try to jump towards the upward side, and I will then paddle across like this and will reach to the end of it, or I will reach to the edge of the swimming pool. This was his planning. It seemed a long way down. Those 90 feet were more like 90. Those 9 feet, were more like 90, and before I touched bottom, my lungs were ready to burst. What is he saying? My goodness, he was actually sinking very, very slow, and those 9 feet were appearing to him like 90 feet. Okay, and he has swollen lots of water. That's why The entire lung was, means he was unable to take breath. That's why he's telling my lung was about to take burst. But when my fate hit bottom, I summoned all my strength. Summoned here means gathered. Okay, gathered. And made what I thought was great spring. Spring means a jump upwards. I imagine I would bob. Okay, spring here means push up, and bob also means to come up or jump up. Okay, to the surface like a cork. Instead, I came up slowly. I opened my eyes. I saw nothing but water, dirty attached to it. I grew panicky. I reached up as if to grab rope, and my hands clutched only at the water. I was suffocating. I tried to yell, but no sound came. Yell means shout. Then my eyes and nose came out of water, but not my mouth. So my dear children, William planned something. What he planned? He planned that as soon as he will reach the bottom, he will make a jump and come to the surface of water. He did that attempt. But what happened before making attempt? He has to reach to the bottom, and he was very slowly going down inside the bottom. It was appearing like 90 feet down the deep end was. And when he reached over there, he actually made that effort of jumping upwards. He thought that he will come out like a cork. I had another. What is cork? You know, the bottle stopper? Huh? This is called as cork. I have one more. This is called as a cork. You know, this is up and out. The bottle stopper, this cork is a cork. So he thought that he will just pop out. He will jump up like a cork when he will make that effort. But that effort was not sufficient, because as soon as he went down, he gathered all his strength to jump up. It was not all enough. And what happened? He was trying to get a hold of something, but he was not able to get hold of anything. And his eyes and nose, though it came out of the water, but mouth, it didn't came out of the water. So he was almost, we can say that he was sinking. Okay. He was suffocating, means unable to breathe. I flailed at the surface of water. Flailed means he tried to move his hands uncontrollably. Swallowed and choked. I tried to bring my legs up, but they hung as dead weights, paralyzed and raged. I great filling pores were pulling me under. I screamed, but only water hurt me. I had started on a long journey back to the bottom. And see, he tried all his best. He tried to pull his legs upwards. He tried to give once again a jump effort. But it seems that the legs had almost paralyzed. And he was suffocating, he was choking, he was unable to breathe because he was swallowing a lot of water. He does not know how to swim, that how to control his breath. So again, he started what? Sinking. This is the second time. First, he already sank when the boy just throwed him. The second time, he started sinking, and this was horrible. He thought that within the first attempt, he is going to come out. I stuck at the water as I went down, expanding. Here, expanding means losing. Here, expanding means losing. You can note it down. Expanding here means losing. Okay, my dear children. So, I stuck at the water as I went down, expending my strength as one in the nightmare fights an irresistible force. Now he was losing all his strength, and for him that particular current situation of sinking has become just like a nightmare. Like we have a nightmare and we want to fight and get away, but we cannot. It seems to like for him like that he is in a dream watching a bad nightmare, and he just want to get off the situation, but he is not able to get off the situation. And what happened? I had lost all my breath, means he was unable to breathe. My lungs ached, my head throbbed, I was getting dizzy. Throbbed means he was actually feeling a series of pain over the head. His lungs have actually started paining, and I remember the strategy. I would spring from the bottom of the pool and come like cock to the surface. I would lie flat on the water, strike out with the arms, and crash with my legs, and I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. See, again, first attempt, he was conscious. He did it. He failed. Okay, my dear. Now this is the second time. This is the second attempt he is going to make. He is still telling that he is now breathless. Now he is going breathless. But still, strategy, we can call, still he has a plan. Rather, he has a plan. Same plan. What plan? That he will jump. When as soon as he is going to reach the bottom, he is going to jump upside and come to the surface. But he's telling that his lungs are paining, his heads are in here. Now the physical condition is also deteriorating in the second attempt. So he is just trying hard. He's trying hard to come on the surface. He's just planning that I will again give a jump and come to the surface. What happened? I went down endlessly. I opened my eyes, nothing but water with a yellow glow. That also, in the first time he also saw the water with a yellow color. This time also, before when he was earlier sitting at the edge of pool, it was so clean. Now it was yellow color water. The sun rays you can see coming up over there. And down and endlessly I opened my eyes, nothing but water with a yellow glow, dark water that one could not see through. He again came down. He was unable to see now. He was now, and then sheer, stark means severe. Terror seized me. Terror that was no understanding, terror that knows no control, terror that no one can understand, who has not experienced. It was shrieking. Shrieking means he was screaming. Okay, he was screaming. I was underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, rigid with fear. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. Only my heart and the pounding in my head say that I was still alive. Now, this is a terrible experience of William Douglas. The second time when he just got towards the bottom of the pool, he's telling he was paralyzed. Now his hands and all the strengths have gone. It seems that everything has become very, very stiff, rigid. He cannot move. He wants to scream, he wants to shout, save me, but it seems that the vocal cord and everything has got frozen up. And then he was surrounded by great terror. Only those who have experienced it can understand, others cannot understand. He's writing very, very clearly. This was the second attempt when he wanted to do it. And in the midst of the terror came a touch of reason. Means in all this situation, I must remember to jump up when I hit the bottom. At last I felt the tall suddenly my toes reach out as if to grab I jumped with everything. Even in this great terror of when his all things means, even he's saying that he has got frozen up, his voice got frozen up, his legs got paralyzed. He remembered I had to jump with all my force, and he did it. When he reached the bottom, he did it for the second time, but the jump made no difference. We are reading into the last paragraph of page number 26. But the jump made no difference, he writes very clearly. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladder, water wings, nothing but a water. A mass of yellow water held me. And he jumped. He tried to jump outside. He want to get a hold of anything like rope, water wings, or ladder. He cannot have anything. He cannot get a hold of anything in the water, and everything, whatever it was there was water. And then this terror started growing deeper. See, it's written, stock terror took an even deeper hold on upon me like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my leg wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, no, to call for mother. Nothing happened. He was trying to call for help, but he couldn't make that call. He was now remembering his mother. And then strangely, there was light. I was coming out of the awful yellow water. At last my nose were almost out. Now almost he is thinking that he is out of the water. Then I started down at the third time. First two times, he gave a jump. No. Third time, second time again. No. And now the third time he started drowning. In the third attempt, he made no effort. See, no effort will be there. In the second attempt, he made this effort. No difference. Again, though some portion of the water of the body like face, it came out. Again, he started sinking. And this time, it was full of peace. So it's written. And I started on the third time. I sucked for air and got water. The yellowish light was gone. He tried to get some air as soon as his nose came out of the water, but then all effort ceased. Ceased means stopped. And what happened? I relaxed. Even my legs felt limp. Okay, and blackness swept over my brain. It wiped out fear, it wiped out terror. There was no more panic. It was quiet and peaceful, nothing to be afraid. This is nice to be drowsy, to be go to sleep, not need to jump, and too tired to jump. It's nice to be carried gently, to float along in space, tender arms around me, tender arms like mother. Now I must go to sleep. Now, my dear children, in this third time, when he started sinking for the third time, what happened, He felt peace. He was having no courage to make this third effort of actually jumping. He was thinking that everything is so peaceful. He was just lying around his mother's arm, and actually he was now about to be in full unconscious state because all his lungs was inside full with water. His brain was not receiving oxygen, so it was like he was about to get drowned. He was about to get in such an unconscious state. So everything was like very peaceful for him. He is describing it like when a person actually is getting drowned or fainted, the feeling comes like this only. I crossed to oblivion. Means oblivion is a state. Oblivion is a state where you are unaware is what is happening all around. You can write this thing. You can write the meaning of this. Oblivion meaning is a state or unaware, a state where you are unaware of what is happening around. Okay, my dear children? He was unaware what is all happening around. He does not know. And then what is written? Curtain of the life fell. He's saying that his life has came to an end. It seemed to him that life has ended for him. He is towards the deathbed, or rather he is on the deathbed. And then when he gained conscious, that is the next paragraph. In the page number 27, the fourth passage is all about, the next I remembered, I was lying on stomach beside the swimming pool vomiting. Okay, the chap that threw me was saying, but I was only fooling. Someone said, the kid nearly died. Be all right now, let's carry him to the locker room. And when he gained conscious in this state, he was totally unconscious. And somehow somebody actually got a hold of him, or got a view of him that is drowning in the swimming pool. They actually picked him up and actually brought outside the swimming pool. And when he gained conscious, he was lying on his stomach, he was vomiting, and he heard somebody was scolding that boy. You know, you have this made this boy actually drowned. And he said, I just was, he said, I was just bullying him. मैं तो मजाक कर रहा था. I was just not like that. Someone said the kid was nearly dying, huh? Like that, he heard somebody scolding that boy. Several hours later, I walked home. I was weak and trembling. I shook and cried when I lay on my bed. And this misadventure, or rather this mishappening, actually disappointed, disheartened him. He cried a lot on his bed. Oh my God, what has happened to me today? I was about to get drowned. I was just about to get drowned. And I couldn't eat that night for a day. Haunting fear, haunting means scary fear, was in my heart. The slightest exertion upset me, making me wobbly in the necks and sick to my stomach. Means that from that particular day, even the small exertion things, even the panicking fear, he just grew panic. Everything make him panic. He got numbness in his knees and his entire body, and he just developed the same kind of fear which he has in the drowning in the pool. So what happened? I never went. See, the result is I never went back to the pool. I feared water. I avoided whatever I could. Now this has a deep and a serious impression on the mind of William Douglas. This misadventure of drowning in the pool. He made 3 attempts, all failed. He actually got unconscious. He got fainted. Somebody actually got a hold or view rather his drawing. They brought him out when he was unconscious. He just actually found that somebody was scolding that boy. You actually made this boy drown. And he said, I'm sorry, I was just actually bullying and like that. But that particular actually incident developed a great phobia of water inside his mind and his heart. And he was like, oh my God, if something happens, the panic grows within inside him from that particular day. And all the entire body is telling that even his knees, everything becomes very weak. He becomes very weak in not only in his soul but physically also. So there, in his third and fourth year, when he was with his father in the beach of California, there he developed the fear. Small level, there was a development. But this misadventure in YMCA pool was a great misadventure in his life that actually filled him with a great depression, or rather fear of water. He is writing very clearly, he never went to the swimming pool from that day. So for today, I am concluding it because it is a very, very huge lesson. And the lesson is very elaborated, and we have to go in elaborated teaching, as you have now got the books also, and we are going with the reading portion also. So my dear children, here I am concluding my video for today, and next portion of this chapter we will be dealing in my next video. Till then, no bye-bye. I am not going to give you like this. You will definitely going to have homework. So take out your copies. What do you think? I'm going to say goodbye. No, I'm not going to say goodbye. Just write 3 questions for homework. Very easy. I will be telling you the answer also, but you are going to do it. Okay? So the very first question you are going to note down as a homework is, how does Douglas develop an aversion to water? This is your homework. Number 1, how does Douglas develop an aversion to water at the age of 3 to 4 years? Okay, the very simple answer is How? At the beach of California. That particular incident, how he got buried in the wave when he was along with his father. That you have to write in this answer. What, my dear children? The second question is, which factors led Douglas to decide in favor of YMCA pool? Okay, my dear children? Which factors led Douglas to decide in favor of YMCA pool? That it was safer place, the shallow end 2 to 3 feet deep, and then deeper end only 9 feet deep. Okay, and the drop was gradual. Drop means that slope from shallow towards the deeper end was very gradual. It was not steep. Okay, that particular thing you are going to write in this answer. And the third question, only 3 questions. Don't take any worries at your head. Okay. The third question is also very simple. When Douglas realized that he was sinking, how did he plan to save himself? How did he plan to save himself? What we are going to write in this answer? When Douglas realized that he was sinking, how did he plan to save himself? He planned that as soon as he is going to reach the bottom, he is going to give a big jump towards the surface of the water, and then he is going to paddle or rather swim towards the edge of the swimming pool. So this type of planning he did it. Okay, my dear children. So I hope these 3 questions you are going to write in your copies and do it very properly. And the other part, as this lesson is very, very huge, we are going to deal in our next video. So till then, have a great day and bye-bye.